and of course, my wonderful co-host, partner in crime, Mr. Roberto LaPorta, otherwise known on Zoom as D. Porter.
Yeah,
People
notice
guessing.
that. Notice that. D. Porter.
Hello, Celine. Good to see you. Yeah. So, Robert, do you wanna kick things off and talk about what maybe wish circles have meant to you in the past, or what you've been noodling on in the world of wishing?
What Wishbeads has meant to me in general, you mean,
No, not in
perhaps?
general wish beats, but like these opportunities to quiet your mind
Right,
and to see,
right,
look into your soul a little bit and see what it is you're wishing for.
right. Well, I do feel closely connected to Wishbeads, as you can imagine.
It's hard to escape it in our house, to be
It's
honest.
hard to escape, and I'm a big fan, obviously, and have been closely tracking the progress of this thing called Wishbeads. But in addition to just thinking it's pretty cool to wear the jewelry, I have certainly watched and come to understand that it is a process of exploration, personal exploration, and you have to take it to you have to do some work. You have to activate your wish, so to speak. And a wish can be very specific. It can be, it can almost be a life, a mantra you want to enter into your own life, how you want to see things differently. But all of it requires work. And I think the specificity, well, let's be frank. Alexa has a, I've always been drawn to your voice. And you have a terrific way to guide the journey of what it takes to sort of envision what you want. And I have been with you listening to many people who've had success with that experience. So I'm honored to be here today. I'm honored to, we've talked a lot about it, trying to encourage other men to have the courage to admit they want things in life, maybe have secret wishes and secret desires, and can share them with each other and not be afraid to do that. So I know Brian is here. He's hiding his video currently, but Brian's another gentleman that him and I speak frequently about what it takes to kind of activate your life. And so I'm happy to be here. I'm honored to be here. I thank you for inviting me, and I look forward to the experience.
Oh, thanks,
Yeah.
honey. Well, we had a really interesting thing that happened this week, and I want to give it to you as an example because, in a way, oh, look, here's my mom. She's coming in. I'm going to promote her to a panelist, the one and only Billy, otherwise known as Bling by Billy. She's coming in the house. Um, but I wanted to share with you an experience that happened because it's building on the theme. There she is. Look, we have Wonder Twin Power necklaces on, Mom. Are you wearing that? So anyway, there is last time we did a wish circle, there was a theme that came up, and it had to do with homes, houses. Now, maybe because we've all been in COVID, we're all thinking about our house a lot because we're spending a lot of time in our homes. But anyway, so you know how the Facebook is listening to you. That's my theory. Facebook is listening to you, but this week, maybe 3 days ago, I'm puttering about on Facebook and up pops a house listing. I don't, some real estate agent put it in the Facebook, and Facebook knows how to find the people that are like, oh my goodness, I like that. So that was me. And I saw an image of a house and I clicked on it. And it was that experience of love at first sight. I was filled with delight looking at this house, and they had this interactive magical technology that you could zoom in and see like the bird's eye view of the house, almost like an architectural display. You can then zoom in. You could do a virtual walkthrough like Google Maps, but inside the house. And, and the price tag on this house was not remotely near my budget, not even remotely. But the feeling of how great it felt to imagine creatively living in this house and being like, oh my God, I love my fireplace. What? The ceiling's incredible. It filled me with so much love. But I thought about that and I thought, this is the funniest thing. Now I have a blueprint of just what I want. It is literally the house of my dreams. And I thought, this is so great because if you've ever been a place where you're overwhelmed with decision making, or you don't know what you should do, and it fills you with like, oh my gosh, the stress of so many choices, or I don't know where I want to live, or I don't know how I should structure this, or I don't know. For me, it drains my energy. But suddenly I felt through this experience of being able to see in detail something that was so clear. And Kim, I sent it to Kim, and she looked at it and goes, oh my gosh, Alexa, that house is so you. Now I feel like I have this blueprint for the universe or through whatever. Hey, universe, this specific thing, this is what I want to work. I'm not attached to when it comes or how it's magically going to happen. And it doesn't have to be that physical house and that address, but there's such clarity. And in the clarity, there's freedom. It's like the sweet piece of being like, yeah, that's what's going to feel like in that space that feels so in alignment with what I want and what I wish for. So today, what we're doing in a way is you've got this feed that is your life, the things that you see that come up in your world. And now we're going to open that up a little bit and connect inside and allow yourself, your deepest part of yourself, to show you what you really want. And we don't necessarily want to judge it. We don't want to jump to the part of our brains that may look at that Zillow listing and think, oh, I can't afford that, and have it get upsetting. No, we want to delight in the discovery. So what's happening today is I'm going to guide you through a visualization exercise. Hopefully it'll be both relaxing and sort of activating, where I invite you to awaken your senses, to use your imagination to just see what happens if you imagine a moment in time where everything feels just right. In the same way that I'm standing in my future home and it's just awesome. It's just me. And so see how animals are echoing what I'm saying if I'm saying the truth? There's Eddie, and he doesn't bark too much. So that's pretty funny. So that's what we're going to do today. And all you need to do is not judge the experience. That's my only recommendation. Oh, he's really getting spicy out there in the living room. I'm not sure what's going on. Because sometimes what happens, oh, Robert, yeah, you're on mute, but yeah.
I wanted to just comment because I had the luxury of experiencing you discovering that house at the same moment you did. And I think the struggle is the gap.
Right.
And I think it's very real. Is you were looking at it with this openness and this feeling of this is it. And you were showing it, don't you want to see it? You want to see it? Look at this, look at it. And I had this feeling of, oh my God, it's this thing over there. It's this gap between where we are now, laying in our bed, looking up at the crack from the earthquake and this thing. And as a designer, a builder, I all the things I want to do and make, and you sometimes folks see that. So I felt the gap where you're seeing I don't know if you call it the end product, or you're welcoming in the vision of what it will be versus the path to get, so that letting go is tricky.
Well, and it was also so fun. And I'm still in the fun of it. I would say like, oh my God, look at my bathroom. I love my bathroom. It's huge. And honestly, I still don't feel the gap between where I am now. I mean, I feel the gap, but I'm not letting it. It was so much fun to actually see it, that so what? I'm not going to buy that house. We're not going to buy that house. It's way more than in the cards right now, but it feels so great to have the sweet relief that I'm not wondering, well, what should it look like? Because that actually overwhelms me. Actually, now I know. I know exactly what it looks like. Now in reality, whatever happens in the future, and if we are fortunate enough to be able to build a house or whatever, maybe things can change, but man, oh man, as I go in, and I have, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love what we did with the backyard. This is so great. Look over here. This is perfect. And there's so much relief in that. That's what I want to describe, that you can focus on the gap. Oh, too bad. I don't have that. Oh, shucks. But if you can use that feeling and let the feeling energize you right now, maybe you can find a spot of delight in the home that you live in right now. It's not that we don't want to focus on the separation. We want to bring the joy into right now and start to
But
love
yeah,
and
I'm
create that
also
in your home.
talking about the courage now today in this experience to let go of that gap and go
Yes,
for it. Just
go for it.
just go for it. And that's kind of what I'm thinking for myself. I'm just going
Mm,
to really open up to try and feel and bridge, let go of whatever I perceive that gap to be and go
yeah,
for it. You know, that's
go
what I'm
for it.
kind of,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And this is meant to be exciting, and it's meant to be fun, and it's meant to feel like you're going on a little vacation. So let's do that. Let's do that. And see what comes up, because why not? Why not? So, right now, I am going to invite you to just get very comfortable wherever you are. And let's say a cell phone is nearby. Maybe you want to make sure it's on silent, so that you don't get interrupted. But let's say there is music, by the way, or talking or horns, going. That is what my meditation teacher always affectionately calls the music of life. So if there is some music of life coming up while we're doing this experience, that is okay too. And you don't have to push it away or think that this is all so precious that it can't be interrupted. It is all good. It is all welcome. And we'll just have a little bit of a ride. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to put on some music, and you are welcome to close your eyes. We are just going to allow ourselves to have the experience. And all I ask is that you do not judge the process. And if there's another voice that comes in that says, "Are you kidding me? What?" Just see if you can just gently shush that voice to the side and just focus on what's coming in your mind's eye. It might be visual, it may be just a feeling. If I invite you to see something and you're not seeing something, just allow that to be. Do not feel the need to judge the experience. Okay. So close your eyes and get comfortable. We're going to take a moment to just really just tap in to the awareness of your breath. Take a big, deep inhalation in, and then slowly exhale, welcoming in the present moment, the present power of your breath. Inhale in again, feeling the energy of your body, and then gently exhale and let go. You are here, you are among friends, you are loved, you are energy, you are light, you are infinite possibility. Think about the beautiful symphony that is your body, orchestrating to keep you alive, to keep you healthy. This beautiful orchestration, this symphony of miracles that is happening all the time below your level of awareness. Billions and billions of cells just doing their thing. Let's send those billions and billions of cells so much love and gratitude. There is so much that we do not see, that we do not understand, and yet they're there. in their symphony. And when we quiet our minds, we allow ourselves to open up and expand our vision. So before we actually begin, let's send those cells some love, and we're going to send those cells some light. Imagine that there is a beautiful rain shower of light coming from high, high, high above you, gently showering down trickles of light, penetrating the top of your head. This light is any color you wish, and it is filling you on a cellular level with loving, nurturing light. Gently scanning your body to any area where you are holding any tension at all. Allow this light to penetrate into each of those cells, into each area, allowing you to let go, release anything that doesn't serve you, and allow that light to nourish you, to nourish those cells. Picture this light moving down through your head, your jaw, your face, down the back of your neck, expanding through your shoulders, just allowing that healing light energy to move through you. Picturing the light moving through all your major organs, helping you release any blockages, any strain, any places where you're holding onto energy that you do not need. Fill it with light. This light is moving through your skeletal system, moving down your spine, into your hips, into your legs, fortifying you with light. Down into your feet, this light is moving through your rib cage, down your arms, your elbows, your wrists and fingers. You're just coming gently home to your true self, all light, allowing that energy to cascade through you, to nourish you, to connect you. And now imagine, bring your awareness to the center of your chest. In this center of your chest, roughly in the area of your heart, there is a very special light. It comes from the deepest part of your being. Imagine this light is a luminescent orb of light, any color you wish. This is your light. And as you breathe in, this light is going to grow in intensity. And as you exhale, this light is going to expand. This orb is expanding, shining your light. And again, as you breathe in, Imagine this orb of light is growing in intensity. And as you exhale, it is expanding. And with this next inhalation in, this light is growing in intensity, but as you exhale, it is shooting out a beam of light from the center of your chest like an old-fashioned movie projector. And your light, this beam of light, is shining on a blank screen in front of you, about 6 feet in front of you. Picture your light shining on this screen. And slowly, slowly, this light is going to come into focus until you are seeing a movie. This movie is a moment in time at some point where everything feels just right. This is your life. Just a moment in time at some point in the future where everything feels just right. Picture that movie now. There you are. Allow it to come into Technicolor vision. Allow the energy of this movie to draw you in until you are stepping closer and closer and closer to this screen. You are so close now that you actually step into the screen. You merge with this moment. You're there, inside the movie. Look around and take in the scene of where you are, this moment in time where everything feels just right. Awaken your senses to this moment in time. Your smell, your sight, your hearing, your taste, your touch. Gently, gently allow this experience to unfold. As you begin to explore this space, feel your feet. What shoes are you wearing? Moving around. What do you notice? What do you see that stands out to you? Notice that right now. What time of day is it in this time and place where everything feels just right? And as you move around, is there something that you can touch? Go ahead and touch that right now. Now, in this time and place, bring your attention inward and notice how you feel. What 3 adjectives would you use to describe your feelings in this time and place where everything feels just right? How would you describe that? And now look around and see if you can notice little things like, what are you wearing? Who are you with? Gently bring your attention to the sounds of this time and place. What do you hear? Notice that now. With this next inhalation in, we are going to take all of the energy of this time and place and the sights and the sounds, and we're going to inhale them back into our light, into the center of our chest, taking in all the energy. It came from our light, it's there in our light, and all of the details, they're there for you anytime you want to go back to this time and place. So as you look around, what are 3 specific things that you notice that you are going to remember anytime you think about this time and place where everything feels just right? Notice those 3 things right now. Touch them, see them, hear them, feel them. Allow that energy to lift you up, to ground you, to expand you, to fill you with love, to bring you great comfort. And I invite you now to set your intention to remember these details. All of these details are inside of you. They're yours, and you can come back to this time and place anytime you wish. And before we return to this time and place, I am going to invite you to notice just one more thing. Turn around from wherever you're looking right now in your mind's eye and see if you can notice something behind you. Notice that now. That was there all along. You just didn't see it. So as you look around, know that this special place is yours. It's inside of you, and you can return here anytime you wish. And before we come back, drinking in all the details of that beautiful time and place and where everything feels just right, set your intention to remember all the details. And when you're ready, very, very, very gently take a nice deep breath in, inviting your awareness back into your physical body. Bringing your awareness to your spine, to where you're sitting, to the room that you're in right now. Slowly, slowly welcome your awareness back to the present moment. And when you're ready, very slowly wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and gently, gently open your eyes and come back. All right. Okay, welcome back, everybody. How was that? Ah, I hope that music wasn't too loud. It started to get a little juiced up there. Just a little bit. Ooh. Welcome back, everyone. That is, I always say, the perfect type of COVID vacation. Ah, welcome back. Welcome back. So now is the time that I'm going to give you a little. There's an additional part 2 of this. As soon as this wish circle is over, there's another invitation for you to do just one more thing, which is to record this experience. Hi, Sophia. How are you? To record the experience by writing down, if you have the Wishwork book or a journal, great, any journal can do. But the idea is like a dream, what you saw, what you felt, what you experienced can kind of disappear. But what we want to do is record the experience in as much detail as possible. And also, one other suggestion is to write it in the present tense language, not the language of, oh, this happened to me in the past. This is what I experienced in the wish circle, or this is what will happen in the future. By bringing it to the now, it's almost like saying it's a done deal. Like I am there, which means that when you close your eyes, when you use your imagination to go back there, you can be and feel and experience the same energy that you saw in the visualization. So my recommendation is present tense language when you record it. Now, let's say, for example, you didn't have a very visual experience. Your creativity is something that is more of an expression of writing or drawing or doodling or collaging. It is all good. Maybe this experience is just the spark or the beginning of what you can creatively make time for by maybe just writing without stopping, capturing more details, or using the energy of this experience and deciding to make some art with it. But the idea is to take it out from the imaginative world, from the non-physical world, and bring it to a physical form. That's what Wishbeads are all about. It's about taking the intention and having a visual reminder, a visual expression, a physical expression. And that's what we're doing with the wish circle is you're putting a pin in the map of this is what I want to experience. In the same way that me seeing a home that is so me, it's like, oh, what sweet relief. I don't have to wonder what kind of home sparks my heart. I know it's this. So it gives me something to do. Let's say when I do go shopping for homes or designing a home or whatever, there's no mystery. I know what's going to spark my heart. Hopefully it sparks Robert's heart too, but just saying. But the idea is that suddenly you have a map, you know where you want to go, and then you can drink from that energy right now. That's sort of how this works. But now it's really, to me, the most fun part which is hearing from you. And is there anything that anyone wants to ask, questions about this experience, or any clarification that I can offer? Like, what the heck do I do with this now, Alexa? What does this have to do with wishing? Or anybody want to share their experience? Oh, I guess you can you can just raise your hand. Okay, Billy, I think all you have to do is unmute and you can have the floor.
All right, my wish is not even that hard to do. It was a walk in the forest. And Lola, my dog, was with us. My husband was with us. I always cry, so don't, this was not an unhappy thing. I just get emotional because it's so darn cute. So anyway, my words in this beautiful forest were gratitude, peace, and love.
Mm.
I'm holding Steve's hand. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you about the description of the things I saw. First of all, I saw 2 hummingbirds. Totally love hummingbirds. I mean, they speak to me like I know what they're thinking. So I saw the 2 hummingbirds. Lola is prancing along. Steve and I are holding hands. And I see a little orange Gerber daisy. And I hear squirrels playing in the trees. So then I'm just having the most peaceful, loving time. It seemed to be a little bit like fall, which is interesting since it's spring now. But, and so Alexa invites me to turn around. I turn around and there's this beautiful winding path behind me. With leaves, so it must have been fall. So anyway, my joy was, what it said to me was, this is a time of peace and love. And I'm loving that whole idea. So thank you for letting me share. I think I can probably pull this off, this wish. And as Alexa knows, I'm always looking for houses. So I'm surprised I didn't come up with a house, but the forest was lovely. So thank you.
That's awesome. And even that, and it was peace, love, and joy. Those were the 3 words.
No, peace, no, gratitude, peace,
Gratitude.
and love.
Oh, gratitude, peace, and love. So
Gratitude
that's
for the walk in the forest.
Yeah.
Peace because it provided peace, and love because the thing I really pictured was holding hands.
Nice. So there's little specific clues that you can see that your being, your desire is showing you. And while actually getting my dad to walk in the forest might actually take a minute, the idea that you could create moments of this. So whether it's, getting some orange Gerber daisies, or whether it is in those moments when you might be feeling flustered, to say gratitude, peace, and love, to bring that energy in, to like reset you, or whether you're just walking down the street, walking the dog, holding your husband's hand. There's little moments of this that you can actually bring pieces of your full, complete vision to your life right now. And that's part of the fun of teasing this, of playing with your wish in an imaginative way. And what Robert was talking about, closing the gap, because your mind could say, oh, well, I live in a place that doesn't have the kind of forest that I saw. I don't know about that winding thing. And oh, shucks, I'm not going to be able to make this happen. Okay, that could be a circumstance. Or you can say, I wonder what pieces of that I could simultaneously bring to my life right now, while maybe thinking about a time in the fall where I could create this for myself. So maybe, let's say, when I'm in the East Coast, which you tend to do in the fall, that I could make it a point to set up an afternoon where I would make this happen. So it's both. It's
Wow.
both.
Well, the beauty of that, back here on the left coast, is I'm blessed with hummingbirds in my backyard. So that piece of it will come to me too. So yeah.
Yeah. And those hummingbirds, when they show up, if you choose to look at those like a sign that you are capable of bringing gratitude, peace, and love into your life right now, that's something that can also kind of get you in that mindset of like, yay, everything's good, everything's okay. And that's the dance that we're all doing, moving from stress and the hard things that are in life. How do we bring ourselves back into a place of gratitude, peace, and love. And sometimes it's a sign, and sometimes it's intention, and sometimes it's the little things that we want to do, we bring to our lives right now. Yes, Roberto?
Well, I appreciate you saying that because I always go back. I tend to go back to the same place
Mm.
in my visioning. I really do. And sometimes when I hear you talk so often, is you have such diverse experiences, and I want another, but I keep going back. But it's
That's good.
getting rich. It's getting richer and deeper. And what I'm hearing you say is that the specificity can indicate kind of themes for you. So mine involves water, it involves stones, it involves trees. And if I look at the details, they sort of start to inform things that are important to me in my day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm always in water. So instead of putting that down the way, swimming is important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not surprised by that. Or the stone element, even just thinking that I should have a good solid stone that I almost hold to remind me of this vision I have, because that's always a part of it. So I appreciate that taking specific elements and how you can kind of introduce them. That's one way to bridge that gap that I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't thought about till right
Mm-hmm.
now.
So that you can delight yourself right now. Wishing is not about working so hard until you achieve the thing. It's about using it as a GPS to what your soul is really craving, and then bring it to you right now. Now you have clues, you have information. An example that I gave in my wish group that we were doing earlier in January was we did a guided visualization, and many of us saw sea turtles of all things. And mine was so clear that when I was in this beautiful sea of water, I was face to face with this ancient sea turtle, and it was amazing. And so what I did afterward, and I recommended the other folks to do as well, was if there's something that you saw that was so specific, I went to one of my favorite resources called unsplash.com. It's an amazing site where photographers put their photography, they let people use it, they ask that you credit them. And I looked up sea turtles, and I saw this amazing picture of a sea turtle, as it was just like was in my mind's eye. I took that, put that as my screensaver. So every time I sit down at my desk, the first image that I see is this giant sea turtle. And I get to drink from that magical energy. It's just like, ooh, hi, sea turtle, before I go into my regular day-to-day life. And that way, when I sit down to return the emails and do the things that, can feel very mundane, I'm bringing some of that energy so that there's a part of my being that is always working towards that other thing. Then I creatively realized, oh, the sea turtles, that must be part of this retreat that I want to create in Hawaii. So suddenly I have a practical thing, a practical clue. Very important. We must include a sea turtle element, because I know that that's what I want. I want to be in the sea. I super want to be in the sea, face to face with the sea turtle. That's what I want. But I can bring that to my life right now. That's the trick. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, Sophia.
I just wanted to add, with Billy's vision, what I really, really liked was when you turned around and saw this winding path behind you. And what struck me is it felt like, behind you was this winding path of life, and it had many twists and turns and changes, but then it brought you to this present moment. So it felt like a really nice reminder that whatever is behind you and whatever is ahead of you, there's always the piece of being, in the woods with your partner and your dog, and you can take all of those pieces and create kind of a safe haven. So I really liked that. And Alexa, you're really good at teasing out all the different parts, because I'll go into my little vision. I was in must have been a wood cabin of some kind. All the walls were wood, and the first thing though that I saw, which was interesting, was when you said, now you have the thing projecting. It was projecting onto like what looked like a wall of water, like droplets of water.
Cool.
And then I was like walking through the water, and then it was raining. And it was so funny. I mean, I'm in Southern California, it's not raining, and I could smell that smell that you get when it rains outside. And I was sitting there by the window, and it was raining outside, and I had a cup of something warm. And I don't know, I think actually what struck me wasn't necessarily, I mean, I do miss the rain, but I think what struck me was like the peace and the calm and the quiet of that moment. And I only really realized that was a thing until you started teasing it out. And I thought, okay, well, maybe what I'm really craving is like some time where it's just me, and there's just some quiet and peace, you know, just to be, because there was nobody else around. I mean, when I turned around, there was another room, and I kind of saw like maybe the shoulder of somebody in what I think was a kitchen, but really the feeling was just being there by myself.
It's so beautiful. And you know, I think also thinking about this idea, and Barbara can go on and on about water, but I love this idea of you know, even giving yourself time in the shower. Like, you know, just the idea of like a cleansing and or even imagining water, or what does that feel like to you? This idea of, I don't know, a bath, or there's just something about water for you that I would bring your attention this next week to your relationship with water. And what kind of peace that can give you, because everybody lives in different climates. So you're sort of experiencing different things. I remember when I lived in Chicago, I was hungry for sun, like really hungry for sun. And I needed sunshine. But you also find that living, especially in Southern California, we don't get rain, we don't get thunderstorms, we don't get this other sort of flavor of a human experience that we then crave. Snow. You know, my kids would do anything to go play in snow. So, you know, but we can bring it into our imagination, and we can even play with replicating that, you know, whether it's sitting in a steamy bathroom or taking a bath, you know, but maybe water for you is something definitely to explore.
I like that. I like that a lot. And when you said about thunderstorms, you know, the other night I just got a puppy, and he woke me up in the middle of the night with his tummy was all grumbling, and I was thinking, oh, does he need to go outside? So I brought him outside, and there was kind of like this smell in the air of like a storm, even though there was no storms. And I went back into bed, and you know, my partner was still kind of sleeping, and I guess I kind of dozed off. And then I don't really remember this, but he was like, do you remember reciting poetry to me that you made up in the middle of the night about a thunderstorm? And I was like, no, I kind of remember like this repeating line, like rain is coming, rain is coming, rain is coming. And he was like, it was a beautiful poem. And then you just went right back to sleep.
Okay. So I think, Sophia, okay, wait a minute. I think there's really something special here that you're birthing.
Yeah.
And so we can say like, oh my God, wasn't that crazy? What a crazy thing. I'm talking poetry in my sleep and whatever. And I'm thinking about rain, and I'm thinking about thunderstorms, and the puppy is waking me up. I would actually bring this to the forefront of your intention with more awareness and curiosity, and maybe a pad of paper by your bed, a little bit of meditation and reflection. And for sure, you've got to get some of Barbara's I Love Moon Waters. Like, if you don't know about her moon waters, which if you listen to me, you probably do. But I would actually think that there is something inside of you that's beckoning you. Now it's beckoning you. And I don't know, do you normally write poetry? Are you a poet?
I like writing poetry. Yeah.
Okay. So something is like pushing through for you about rain and about thunderstorms. And I would make space, conscious space in your life to play with that and to allow it to come. And Elizabeth Gilbert, if you've ever read her book, Big Magic, and she did a TED Talk where she talked about poets, the words are coming. And there's this one TED Talk, I'll try to find it and send it to you, but a TED Talk where this poet was explaining that the words would come like a freight train. And one time this poet saw the words come, and she had to chase them. And as she chased them, she actually wrote the poem in reverse. in reverse. So
Oh my gosh.
she caught the words. So creativity and the muse of creativity is it almost feels like there is a poem that is coming through you already. And now with a little more awareness, you can catch it. And
Wow.
so your partner was just reminding you, oh, you're doing that thing. So we want to say like, oh, wasn't that funny? But actually that's a really powerful thing. And so
Yeah.
if you bring a little awareness to it and awareness of this experience, awareness of maybe a little meditation, maybe some showers, whatever, if the words start to come to you, just write them down.
Write them down.
Yeah.
Great. That's great advice. Thanks for validating that and bringing it from something where it was just like, oh, haha, to like, oh, actually, let's give that some attention. I like that a lot.
Well, I think as a society, we have this myth. That's why I think wishing is for kids. Wishing is a waste of time. It's kids play. But wishing is actually an incredibly powerful way of creating the world you want.
Mhm.
And but there's been such a habit of everybody not believing in signs and not believing it's real or thinking it's just for children. But if you watch a child play and they're imaginatively creating a scenario where the fire station and the police and or the fairies or the whatever, they're in it. It is real to them. So imagine if we as adults can expand our experience and play in the same way. It's fun. It's fun. And things start to happen and you start to create what you want.
Mm.
So we can't wait to read your poem.
I'll send it to you all.
Yay! Good.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Interrupt for a minute. Sophia, I am a big proponent of Barbara's I Love Moon Waters, as Alexa mentioned. So I was going to suggest that we put the link in the chat.
Okay.
Barbara, could you put your information? Because honestly, what I find is that I sit down to my computer, I spray my moon water around, and I have so much more clarity than, so I think when you're going to bed, you might want to spray a little moon water, and who knows what will come out of that.
Yeah.
So that's the end of my.
Yes.
My
big fans. We're super fans. I sprayed my moon water before. I've got so much moon water everywhere. I spray it everywhere. I spray it in the kids' rooms. They don't know that. It's great. Yeah, it's so good.
So the other day you were live with Kelsey. And I think it's so funny because we all have like this water theme that's happening today. I too envisioned water. I was kind of like, I went into it and I was kind of like, oh, am I going to see anything today? And sure enough, this time, usually I'm like floating in water or there's something dealing with water. Today, I was at my favorite place, which is where the sand meets the water. And I always call that the in-between. It's my favorite place. Like as a kid, I love just sitting there and letting the waves hit me. I love walking there. Like it's my favorite. And I'm like dying inside because I live in Chicago and there's snow everywhere and the lake is frozen. So I'm just like, there is no in-between right now. But right before we started, look what arrived.
Yeah.
Literally right before the class for the hidden messages in water.
Yeah. That's a good book.
All right. Kelsey recommended it and I was like, I gotta get that. And so I think it's so funny that I was dying that it arrived right before the class. And then I had that visualization of me standing by the water. And it was weird because you said turn around, and this time usually I'll turn around and there's something behind me, but this time you said turn around and it was like I could see myself standing at the water, not behind me. So I could see myself standing there, I could see the sand and I could see the water and the horizon, but I was like watching myself. Yeah.
Nice. Which very funny, Barbara. I too was at the water's edge. It's very peculiar. We always have the same visualization. It's very strange. Very peculiar. This is like
a common thing with us lately.
I know. Oh, my dear friend Joanna just showed up, but she showed up just at the end. But I'll call you afterwards, Joanna. It's okay. I'm so happy you're here.
I'm so sad. Can I see this? Did you record it?
I did record it. So it's going to go, it'll go up on YouTube afterward. And don't worry, we don't show any faces, but we do the recording. Does anybody else have any questions about their experience?
No questions.
You know what? Oh, sorry. I'll go after Celine. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was just saying no question. I just love Billy. That's all.
Philly fan club. Woo, 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 woo. All right, Celine, what about you? Did you see your house?
No house today, but I was sort of a same in the water, but it was a stream more than anything. And it was kind of the same thing than last time. But last time I was standing in the stream and I saw a fox. It was just getting me to follow the fox through the whole thing. And today it was more like standing in the stream, still very shallow stream, but still following the water, and then ending up at an old house. And when you said to remember to touch something, it was like a ivy leaf, just and it was kind of like growing on the side of a house, an old house. So we were just seeing the wall of ivy. And when you said to turn around, I saw my 2 sets of grandparents, and they're all gone, they're all passed. So it was, and they were all smiling, and my words were not really the usual kind of words. It was just resilience, support, and partnership. And it was just really, I just kind of like, this is weird. Usually I have this house things, and I have, it always ends up like this, but today was completely different. And like Billy, I get a little emotional just thinking, because my grandparents have always been they raised me, my grandparents raised me and was my support system. So to see them behind me and just be like, go, it's okay, it was just kind of like, oh God. So it was nice.
Yay,
Yeah.
Celine. Oh my goodness. So the second you said your grandparents, like overwhelmingly, all my legs have got the chills, and overwhelmingly I heard like, we want to help you. We're helping you. We're helping
My
you.
friend says that. My
It's
friend
the
is
same. They are so with you right now. So in that same way, and Celine and I live near one another, and we were going for a walk. So I heard, so she and I were talking a little bit more about this, but this idea, and this is true for everybody, we are surrounded by so much support, more than we possibly understand. So we can say, oh, we're feeling alone. But this idea, I can feel your grandparents that are literally like, Celine, we will help you, whatever it is that you want. You want to find that house in the woods with the ivy next to the stream, on it. You want to fill in the blank, and I think that actually giving yourself permission to be in dialogue with them, be in dialogue with them. And I keep on bringing up that book Signs by Laura Lynn Jackson, but this idea that you can ask, that you can have fun with this. If you have objects of your grandparents that are around you, that you can keep with you, and that connection, it's really powerful. It's really powerful. And it can,
my best friend, who's also my hairstylist, and she's sort of doing the whole thing, witching and things like this. She's the one who told me, they're always there, stop talking. And she's cutting my hair, and she's like, he's standing right there, just talk to him. So it's kind of like this, I know. I have this self-doubt always, clouding everything. And then just having them pop up like this, I'm like, okay, I really have to give in and just let it happen, not finding the excuses not to do it anymore. So it was kind of same thing, a little bit emotional.
Yeah, but imagine if you go to a party, right? We do this. You go into a party with a bunch of people. Well, maybe you haven't done that recently, but picture yourself at a party, and you see somebody that's really like, just sort of like this, or grouchy or heavy or whatever. And then you see somebody across the room, and they're laughing, they're carrying on, they're talking to somebody. You are naturally, as a human being, going to gravitate towards someone that you genuinely want to be around. But somehow, when it's the voices in our head, somehow we think that the grouch, the heavy one, the naysayer, is the one that is more important to listen to than the one who's the party pants, the one who's the cheerleader, the laughter, the love, the creativity. That's the party. That's the one that you want to hang out with. Not the grouch, not the naysayer. They're present, and everyone is welcome, but you can sort of comfort the one and maybe welcome them into a conversation, make them feel a little better, but you don't have to, align yourself. And it's gonna anchor your attention, and then it's gonna suck all the energy up in the room. You actually want to bring your awareness that you can pick the voices that you listen to. You can pick where your attention goes. And my friend Wendy just, there's a phrase, I don't know who originated it, but where attention goes, energy flows. So if you wish to really say, you know what, this week I'm just going to listen to my grandparents. Like, that's where I'm really going to put my energy. That's the party that I'm going to attend. And so when the naysayer voice wants to be like, no, not this week or not today. I'm only listening to my grandparents. That's what's happening. And see what happens. See that you can break the idea that the grouchy voice is the loudest voice, is the one that is the cloudy voice. That's the one that you identify with. Just see if you can shift it to that connection to your parents and see what happens. Roberto, I think Brian was going to go, but yep.
Leslie
Oh.
too wanted to say something, but real quick, Brian, because I had that feeling standing under the full moon last night, this bridge to our guides. And this feeling, I really was overwhelmed with this feeling that the thing you often hear is you glimpse the other side and it's this regretful, I wish I had X, I wish I had Y. And I think our guides are on the other side saying, yeah, you can now, and I'm willing to help you. So when you come to the other side and join us and we look back together, you'll realize we were there for you, and this is an opportunity now. We're in this opportunity to dance with the positivity of these guides and what they want us to experience in the dense world we're in. We can bring the lightness from the other side. And I felt it last night, really, with that moon, that it's possible if we say yes to it.
Yep. I love it. Billy is leaving, so I'm saying bye, Mom. She's going. And anybody, we are at an hour, so anybody can go with love. And I'm so happy you came. If you want to stay for a few more minutes and ask any questions, you are also welcome to do so. But I think this is a never-ending conversation, but it's really a playground for you to experience and take action and keep your mind open to the possibilities of what if you said yes to your vision? What if you said yes to the tiny little action steps that you can take that is activating your wish in your life right now? So the ball, in a weird way, is in your court, writing down your experience in detail, doing the 21 days of Wishwork, which you can sign up for free at wishbeads.com/yes, or read my book, or show up on Instagram at every morning around 8:30 in the morning, and really just see what happens. See what happens. And that's sort of the magic of the unfolding, the magic of the journey, and the journey is the best part. Oh, Brian, you were going to ask something, my friend.
Oh yeah, you know what? I was just gonna. This is the first time I've done a Wishcircle with you, and it's really fantastic. I was just going to put my 2 cents in. It's so funny, the whole water thing. So I told you and Robert and Kim before. So my place is a apartment in New York City, where I travel to New York, and I meet the doorman. I go upstairs to my apartment, and Kim is there and Gavin's there. A lot of times it's just because you guys are so close to us, it's you, Robert there, the boys are there, Grammy and Steve are there sometimes. And it's me going to my family that I love, and to a place that I love, and looking out these big windows at the city and kind of the canyons of the streets and stuff. And it's raining, and it's just very peaceful and whatnot. But what I kind of realized, listening to you over the years and today, is that not only does the wish work help you kind of realize where you're going and manifesting what you want, but for me, I'm just going this topic today with Robert and I this morning with my kind of battle with anxiety and things like that. To me, my wishing helps me get grounded. Now it helps me go to a calm place. It helps me at night, if I'm have anxiety about work, whatever it is, to fall asleep, I go to this kind of fantasy wish place, and it helps me calm down, go to sleep, and puts myself at peace. So just something I've kind of discovered today as well.
Yeah, nice. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And Brian, did you see that same apartment in your vision
Oh yeah,
today?
it's the same place I always kind of imagine.
Nice. So
Yep,
interesting.
it's cool.
So interesting. Beautiful. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions or comments or anything they want to share?
Leslie has something to say. Lex.
Oh, there you are. Oh, sorry, Leslie. I didn't see your little emoji hand.
Putting out. Okay. No, that was the first time I actually used my. I didn't know how to do that, but I just wanted to quickly comment on this. Has to do actually, I think more with your wish, but just before joining this call, I got a phone call from a friend of mine who lives in Italy. And she was calling to thank me because I set her up. She was working on a TV. She's in the film business. She and her husband produce movies, but she has got a television idea and she doesn't know, it's more of a reality television idea. And she doesn't know a lot about it. So I put her in touch with a friend of mine who does it, who's a producer, TV show producer. And so she was calling to thank me and said she just got off the phone with him and it went really great. And I told her, I said, I'm just on my way. I'm having this Wishcircle, with my dad. And I told her about it. And she's like, oh, that sounds fabulous. I'd love to try that one time. Anyway, I was just thinking after you talked about your house, her TV show idea it's set in Italy and it's about all these little, villages in Italy where you can buy homes for like €1, like for next to nothing.
Yeah.
But you invest in it. But even then it's so doable. It's so easy. And she really wants to have a show just focusing on how easy it is to build the home of your dreams and that anybody can do it. And that's the whole focus of our show. So I don't know, but when you were talking, and she called literally just before this call. So I just wanted to share that because who knows, something might be
there. Crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
Allison, I'm giving you a big love. Linda, big love. It's so good to see you both. Sending your dad so much love.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.
look at you, Linda, making the hand hearts. You're so hip. Hand hearts. So cute. I love it. That's beautiful. Right. Leslie, I will tell you, this is also a testament to you have to say your wishes out loud. There's another myth I'm going to bust that wishing is like this super private thing that you can't say anything, like it's taboo. It's the opposite. You have to put it out there and the vibration, the boldness of saying, this is what I want. And I feel it and I'm feeling so good. It has a contagion. And so it plants and activates the seeds in other people's minds. So you're like, oh, I could do that. Oh, if you want to, I can do that. I can connect you with this person and who knows and what. And suddenly it's like, what? It's crazy. So fun. It can be fun. And it's not saying we don't have hard things in our life, people. We do, but we experience them. We use them as lessons. We learn from them. We grow from them. It pushes us out of our comfort zone to teach us how powerful we are to expand our experience and work through those hard things. So Leslie, that is amazing. And plus you and I have to connect to do that podcast together, I think too.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. That's why I said last Wishcircle, we had a house theme. It was definitely a house theme. And it obviously stayed with me.
Wait, I want to know about your water's edge.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I was on the water's edge. Yeah, I was in Hawaii. I guess I'm feeling a lot Hawaii these days. Yeah, I was definitely, so like, I think Jelaine, you definitely know where I was, and I was at the water's edge, and I will share with you at the end of my visualization, I was at the water's edge. I wasn't standing, I was seated. It was warm. It was beautiful. I could hear there was a shell nearby that I touched. There was the warmth of the sun. And then when I turned around, I saw this absolutely ginormous elephant, which I took as like a Ganesha type of removing all obstacles out of my way. And so I turned around, I was like, whoa. And I was like, fantastic, because I just felt like that's who's got my back. So that was weird and great and beautiful. And it made sense to me. So that in my way, like Celine, you've got your grandparents that are like we've got you right now. I have this like absolutely like huge astral fleet of elephants helping clear the path. That is what I'm doing. So that's, that was sort of a confirmation for me of what I am ready to intend. So for example, so how does this work in Alexa's weird ways? Well, if I am physically experiencing an obstacle, like with my computer or with, anything, I can then in my mind's eye say, elephants, go, just go, help me clear it, get stuff out of my way. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And then my path will be easier. That's how I play with it. And then I go plan the Hawaii retreat. There's that too.
I think it's fun too that you can get like signs for other people, like how we connect a lot. Like we connect signs a lot, like the turtles in the water and things like that. And the same, my best friend, Jess, the one with the house thing, growing up, her thing was pink elephants. She was obsessed with pink elephants. And yesterday, I think like sometimes signs will connect you with the person when you need to connect with the person.
Yeah.
So she was at work, and I usually never call her at work. But I had received a package. I ordered this blouse from Anthropology, and it was late. It was freaking late. Like I thought the thing was lost. I'm like, it's gone. I need to contact them and get another shirt. But I was like, you know what? I'll wait one more day. So of course it shows up. When I get the shirt, I open it up and I knew it was like half hearts and then half like, like eyes and like the sun. And there's like all this like symbolism on the other side of the shirt. And I flip the arm and there's the biggest pink elephant. And I just gasped. I was like, oh my, like what? It's an elephant and it's freaking pink. I mean, because elephants, pink for an elephant. So I immediately call her. She doesn't answer. She calls me back. And I'm like, I just felt compelled to call you. Like this happened. And I told her the whole story. And she's like, I'm so happy you called me. I'm having like the worst day.
Aww.
And so it's like a moment, like, she's like, oh my God, I so needed you right now. I needed you when you called. And I couldn't talk because I was at work. And she's like, the fact that you like saw the pink elephant and like called me, I think it was just like a little nudge, like, check on her, call her. So
right. And the shirt didn't come the day before.
No.
It came that day. Yeah.
She had a crap day. And then today that's why I brought her the fern, because I was like, I know she loves ferns. So I went and searched for plants and didn't find anything, but found this like baby fern. And I left it on her doorstep and she like called me crying and she was like, I just want to hug it. But I think we get signs for other people that encourage us to help them.
Yeah.
In moments of need or whatever the case may be. So I don't know. I was just pulled to call her, and I thought it was so funny that you're like elephant. And I'm like, oh my God, that's her thing, an elephant, pink elephant.
I love it. And Jelaine, you said you wanted to mention something.
Yeah, I do agree with attaching yourself to other people that give you the energy, and you have the same dreams. Like you guys are talking about water. I have waterworks. My eyes have not stopped tearing. I'm going to have to bring tissues next time to this mission. It's like, I have so much love and joy in my heart, but really the signs, when you talked about the oranges and you're like, I'm seeing oranges, and your friend brought you that marmalade. I remember just thinking, okay, Alexa, I'm going to open up my heart and I'm going to have this sign of hearts. Literally, I'm trying to buy a new couch, and it's very difficult to buy anything here in Hawaii. And I'm trucking out of Homeworld Furniture, and there on the concrete is a plastic rainbow heart right next to my Jeep. I literally did not see it, and I got goosebumps right now. I did not see it walking in, but I sure saw it walking out, and I was like, there you are, Alexa. There you're right there. And it's like becoming aware, and that it was so like you gave me my wishes back, and becoming aware in this community that I am so blessed to have stumbled upon. Just in 15 days, 16 day 16 of which my just daring to dream and wish again. It's like, it's so what we all just need. And so I just want to share that I'm aware, and that thank you for becoming aware, and giving that back to me. And I'm blessed. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And the truth is, it's always been you. It's always been you, it's just, and so you said that the awareness, that's all I'm doing is
Interesting.
reminding people
So they
how
won't stop.
amazing they already are. And my Robert's dad, my beloved father-in-law, Bob, he used to be a TV producer, and his motto was you treat people like stars and stars like people. And that really stayed with me. And especially because I was in the entertainment industry and I worked with celebrities, and they're just like anybody else. And some of them are wonderful and some of them are horrifying. But they're all people. And when you can realize, but society, because we have this kind of skewed way of, to put it mildly, way of looking at the world, we think that there are these other people that have more, or they're luckier or more beautiful or more glamorous or more whatever. When the truth is, underneath everything, we are all the same. We're all light. And when we can remember and reconnect with that, then we have infinite possibility. And it's not that there aren't people that are in more challenging circumstances. Absolutely. But the light itself, in my vantage point, is the same beneath all of that, which means that you don't have to worry about someone giving something to you. You have it. You have to give yourself permission to connect with that and let that be your fuel. Let that be your own GPS. And so that's what Wishbeads is about. That's what my teaching is about. That's what, that's the stuff that I love. And that's why, the people that come here, you have that too. You're already there. That's where we are. Oh, Leslie, I hope your dad enjoyed it. Leslie, the Leslies.
There we go.
Yes, I did. I enjoyed it very, very much.
I'm so happy. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you. No, what struck me was the feeling of openness that I'm feeling now. It's the only way I can describe one word: openness.
Oh, that is a beautiful word.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And I actually brought him into my vision was the same, with the house by the beach, and it's a book launching party. But this time it was a book launching party for both of us, because my father's a writer as well. He's writing his memoirs, and so I just kind of included in that. So
it all comes together.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
All comes together. Yeah.
Oh, well, Leslie, you are always welcome.
Thank you.
Our circle is always open to you anytime.
I wondered, I didn't notice any men in the conversation.
Well, her husband was there.
Okay.
Yeah, we got this guy now. Brian, he's feeling a little shy. He's got his camera off, but he's there too.
Yes. I heard you mentioning Brian.
Yeah, Brian. So we got a couple fellas. We got them. We're all welcome. All are welcome here.
More are welcome. We can get more. More are welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That was great. So thank you so much.
Yes.
That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so very welcome. And everybody, I wish you nothing but the best. You deserve to have all your wishes come true. And in the journey of wishing, enjoying the process, enjoying the delight and discovery and the openness of being open to seeing signs, being open of awakening your curiosity and quieting your criticism, and then just see what happens to your day as a result. What little magical moments pop up and coincidences and things like that. Yes, Roberto.
Guys, I have just a question. Can I send your elephants to fix your computer? Can I ask them when you ask me to?
No,
Is that
you're
possible?
still #1 tech support. Sorry.
Oh,
Just
I
saying.
can't say.
But I'll
you
try
take
the
care of it."
elephants first before I'm like, Robert, can you get my printer to work?
I mean, I was happy to hear that there's some help, but I guess that's still on me. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Cindy,
Try to
did you
send the
want to say
elephants
something?
first.
I thought Cindy had your hand raised. Did you want to say something?
I did. So I was just
hi,
going to
Cindy.
say, when we were talking about signs and messages, so the only thing I saw today was a great horned owl in a tree. So I never knew my maternal great grandmother. She passed long before I was ever in the picture. But that's how she comes to visit me. Is maternal, is a great horned owl. And she actually has a nest in my backyard. Where I live, I have a lot of raptors come to visit. My spirit guide is actually a crow. So, but and then my major spirit guide is a hawk. But when my maternal grandmother comes, she comes as an owl. So she has visited again, and she was very vocal. She like yelled at me for an hour. Still don't know what she wants to tell me, but she was vocal. So obviously there's a message to come through. And since I only saw her eyes, it's obviously I'm not seeing something. So when, you know, the Caroline was talking about the fact that or I'm sorry, it was Cecile that was talking about that her grandparents were there with her. I'm like, yes, they're always there. You just have to kind of see the signs and the messages. And sometimes they're a little difficult to understand. But sometimes they get a little louder if you don't listen. As per my grandmother, who's been very vocal lately. And so I just thought it was interesting, and that's all I saw was her sitting in a tree yelling at me.
So in your visualization, she was yelling?
Huh?
In your visualization, she was...
No, she was just staring at me like a good Irish woman does.
So Cindy, what are activities in your life that you do that kind of get you into a more meditative state? And by meditative, you can actually meditate, but also things that, you know, maybe you do creatively, things that, or even if you're just cleaning your home and you kind of get to a place where it's a place of no thoughts. Is there some kind of activity that you do where ideas typically come to you?
I write. So when I connect with my spirit guides, I write. I do automatic writing.
Great. Perfect. This is great.
So that, and then, so my main spirit guide is, pardon the language, he's kind of a smart ass. So he'll send me songs to try to, the last song he sent me was Billy Don't Lose My Number by Phil Collins. Still don't know what that one's about. So I'll listen to music, I'll put random music on, and then whatever falls into the loop is the song that like will stay with me, and then I figure that out. So that's kind of how I go through, and I have to figure it out. I still don't know what grandma wants. So
have you ever used automatic writing to ask her and allow her to answer?
I try, but she still speaks Gaelic, and I don't understand Gaelic.
Interesting. Kim O'Kane, do you have a thought about how Cindy should handle this? Or
I'm just thinking that the numbers, then what came to me was the numbers are going to help you crack the code for the Gaelic. I don't know how, but I just heard code when you said that those two words came together. So maybe just write, just sit down today after this, if you have some time, and just write, even if it's numbers, and then maybe the letters will correspond with the numbers that are coming to you. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know if that's actually what will happen for you, but that's what I'm getting.
I'll take anything. Thanks, Kim.
Yeah. Okay. But there's, for you, I think the writing for sure, if there's something that you do, and this is for anybody, if there's something that you naturally do, that you find yourself doing, that's your way, use that. And in terms of asking, you know, anything is possible, which means that your Gaelic speaking great grandmother also has the ability, I would imagine, to, if you ask her to maybe communicate in English, if you can. If she can just magically have it translate through like astral Google Translator, that it could come through you, then ask for that. So the things that we want, and if you ask one way, maybe you could creatively ask another way, or do something, you know, playful and play some sort of Gaelic music and say, you know, listen, what was her name?
I don't know grandma's name.
Ask her name. Ask her to introduce herself. So if there's like, develop a different kind of playful relationship, because maybe there's a habit right now that you've kind of come to a place to be like, I don't understand you. I just don't understand you. I don't know what you mean. I don't speak that language, which means that you're actually recreating this block of I recognize you. I don't understand you. I recognize you. I don't understand you. And you can play with that to say, let's start fresh. Can we have a redo? I'm going to play some lovely music. I'm going to sip some specialty. Let's sit down together at the table and then run it through Astral Google Translator so I can write down what it is you asked to say, that just to try it. Because in the world of anything is possible, anything is possible. You don't have to sit in a way. And as Kim said, maybe there's a code. So maybe there's a code. Maybe you're meant to write a code down, and from the code, something will come. But I think you can also use creativity.
Because when you said all you could see was the owl's eyes.
Yeah.
And what came to me was that, but owls are actually so loud. They're hooting, right? And I thought that was so interesting that you only picked up on the eye. So it's something that you aren't able to hear yet. But have patience, it will come to you. But the writing, I really believe, is going to help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't judge yourself about it. Like, I can feel that you want to, the pressure is on to make it happen, but you just have to let it flow, and it will. You'll get there.
Okay.
It's exciting. Can't wait to hear about it.
Right?
I have something to add. The second you said owl, I grabbed my book right away.
Of course.
This is Power Animals, and you're about to be floored with this. So at the bottom of each, I know, I'm just like, wow. At the bottom of each passage for each animal, and you know, Alex, I looked up turtle immediately. But for owl, wait till you hear the bottom. And they always write something at the bottom. It says, there is great wisdom in the winds. Help me to hear, see, and feel the ways of my ancestors.
Right.
Bring their messages to me. Mic drop. Like that.
Right? Oh, yeah.
I saw that and I was like, what? So I think they're definitely talking to you, and I have that issue as well. I do automatic writing too, so I love to find people who do automatic writing. So please follow me, because I don't really find people who do it. I learned it from my grandmother, and I love doing it. But I would say definitely, like, I agree, ask to communicate in a language that you can communicate in, and like almost like envision that translator in between, because I get that all the time too. I'll have dreams where I have a reoccurring dream where I'm in Morocco or like something similar, and I hear them speaking and it like translates immediately, and I can like hear it, but I'm not understanding the language in that moment. So I definitely say tap in and ask. I mean, just ask, because they're always around and they could totally understand you. They understand you and what you're asking. So just ask that they bring it to you in a way that you understand. But I'm here for automatic writing. I'm so excited that you do that. Like,
Barbara, what's that book?
I know.
Yeah, what is the book?
Yeah, so it's called The Shaman's Guide to Power Animals.
Ooh, okay.
And I
like it.
I love it because it goes, it tells you a lot about each animal. So for owl, it has perception, protection, and wisdom keeping. Life is about being willing to receive and being grateful for the gift. And then it tells you like what energy center it is, the mineral, the element, what their magic is, the power is. Like, so I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it.
We are down with that resource.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and look at Kim O'Kane on the hyperlinks. Woo!
Nice.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep,
Yes.
I got it on Amazon. It came the next day and I was like, yes.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much, friends. We are definitely so lucky to have each other in our lives. I'm just going to say that. Thank you for finding this Wish Circle and finding this community. There are going to be some fun things happening next month, ways to go a little bit deeper in community, because I, for one, have been enriched by your input and your guidance and your courage and creativity. And I just love seeing these discoveries unfold. It's really powerful. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, have a beautiful day. Big hearts to everybody. Wah, wah. And next month we will see you here wishing. I'll announce that later on in a few weeks, but you'll be notified because you're already in the Wish Circle Club, the Wish Club. All right, friends, have a beautiful day. We're going to wrap up, but thank you for being